All right, welcome back to the Relentless podcast. Today we have my boy Rich Rosenburg.
How you doing?
From ARCR Building. Biggest builder in our area, other than those corporate builders that aren't anything compared to what his houses look like. You're going to see what his stuff looks like compared to the other stuff. There's no comparison at all. So, Rich, thank you for being here today for me.
Anytime.
I really appreciate everything that you do for me, and I really I like what you do for yourself, which is you get shit done. Right?
I appreciate that.
So get a lot of shit done. You just started doing social media?
Yeah, just a little bit. Mainly because of Tim.
Yeah. Good old Tim T, baby.
I just watch him do it, and I give him a lot of credit for it. And I was like, man, if he could do it, I could do it. And Francisco says he gets a lot of lots, like not lots, but like houses from it. And Santini's been telling me to do it, so I just started doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be on there every day, posting every day, doing more stuff like this, which is a little outside my realm.
That's good. I'm liking what you're doing. I actually like the content. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I think what you do is great with building, and I think you do it, the amount of time you do it in is also great. One thing I didn't realize Rich did, like I already knew that you were smart, but
Half smart. Can't spell for shit.
I can't believe, you don't have to spell, you don't have to spell because you got your numbers down to a fucking science.
Yeah, I'm pretty mathematical.
You know what I mean? As long as you get your numbers down, you don't even need to know how to read, right? You got everything down. So I feel like you doing all the book work that you do and putting all your numbers together like you do is an art. It's really an art. And kind of tell me how you went into that. Like, how did you get into, I know you did stuff. Kind of go into your backstory.
We kind of just like in the beginning, like I had my tattoo shops and we had some rentals, and then I kept buying more rentals, and I really owe it all to this kid, Aunt Carzarano, I grew up with. I had 2 rentals down the shore, and one day in the summer, this dude blew this dude's head off out from my tattoo shop in Atlantic City, and we just sold it. I bought a couple rentals in Le Bon V, and then we just kept buying them. And I had a couple partners that we were together with, like Nick and my buddy Little Ant Mulgeri and Matt that works at the tattoo shop, and it just escalated. We went from having like, I don't know, me and my brother-in-law had like 10 or 15 to like at peak we had like almost 100. And then we just liquidated. Like I was doing flips, probably like 80 to 100 a year. My best year was 104, which was a lot of work. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't really worth it. I made more money probably at like 60. But then when my ex got pregnant with my daughter, I liquidated everything to be able to spend more time with my family. And then I just started really just buying land and developing land. The first year I bought 50, 60 lots, and I didn't build one house. And I was like, man, I'm going to go bankrupt and lose like fucking everything I have. And then the next year I bought another 20 lots, and that year, it was a breaking ground for me on one house. Ryan used to like make fun of me because we would get the land like developed and ready, and then I would sell it off because like I was like, I'm too nervous, I'm not going to do it. I'm too nervous.
So you get cold feet.
Yeah.
Going in there.
Yep, we would get cold feet. And then the one house, when we finally did it, we built the first house, and I was like, man, this is not going to be too bad. And it took, I don't know, a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't make any money at the end. Then the next one took like 7 months, then 6 months. Then I could do 2 at a time and do 6 months. And like currently right now we're building in like 80 days.
That's beautiful.
And I got 23 shovels in the ground.
That's awesome. So, I mean, obviously you've over the, hard work, nothing ever given to you.
No.
Kind of developed
self-made.
the success thing, which is awesome.
Yeah, self-made, learned everything pretty much myself. I had people help me along the way, and I got a dude that's been like a dad to me and like an uncle to me, and they showed me some stuff. But once we pretty much figured out the formula, like it really started going. And then like about 2 years ago, me and Drew Rico got like super close with each other. And what Drew like really took me to the next level because it was easier. Like now we're doing our basements, doing the clearing lots, clearing everything ourselves. And it's me and Drew. So now we went from building in 120 days, and now we're probably like 75 days because like we close on the lot, Drew clears it the next day. Yep. And we're digging basements that day.
That's great.
And you can never do anything like that. And like the cost is like that. But
yep.
The big thing that most people don't understand is like I spent $1 million in engineering this year. Like, so like I probably won't really make any money this year, hopefully next year, but you just got to keep developing the land until eventually it pays off. Like
that's right.
It's pretty neat. We got a couple subdivisions almost ready that we're going to break ground on, hopefully January, one of them. But even that's going to be like a 9-month process to even get your first house up.
That's right. But even so, I mean, these are longer projects. However, the payout's huge.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If it works out and everything's good, hopefully I make a couple dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So what made you go the route of doing new construction versus the flips? Like, what give me some pros
We
and
just
cons.
had like enough. Like the last flip I have is actually in Chemung. We're finishing up right now. It took about 2 years because the inspector just had some issues and it was a non-conforming lot, and I'm probably going to lose like $100,000. You know what I mean? And I'm laughing about it, but like deep down inside it sucks. But we were just sick of opening walls up and stuff was like falling apart or not getting stuff done.
Yep.
Anyone that says like, oh, they could run through this house and tell you within a certain amount, like, yeah, you can, but like the majority of the time, like once you open something up and there's a problem with it, like that number's out the window.
It's done. It's over.
Yeah, it's not as quick. You know, you've been doing it just as long. You know the game and the numbers and everything like that. It's just a lot different now. With new construction, this is what the house cost me. This is the lot, and I could tell you within a couple dollars, depending on dirt we have to bring in, exactly what it's going to be.
Yep.
And people like the product better. Like it's new, it's done, it's forced out. What makes us a little bit different than like the big builder, which no one's ever going to be Ryan Holmes. Like you can't be someone like me and ever think you're going to be Ryan Holmes. I had a goal like 2 years ago. I wanted to be bigger than Schaefer, and I know for a fact that I'm now bigger than Schaefer. Bishop and Smith said I'm bigger than them. Then it's Paparone, and like I'm pretty sure I'm bigger than Paparone. Then there's like Russo and a couple other local guys that are bigger, and I know I'm bigger than them.
Yep.
For the fact that I'm going to finish with like almost 40 houses this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. All the way down from right now, we're all the way down to Cape May, all the way up to Burlington.
Yeah, I really don't think you even have like you say they're a competitor or bigger than them. I don't think they're even in the same league as you as far as the
Yeah, it's probably not.
Like if you go to their stuff, it looks like my grandma from 1980.
Yeah, so it's a little builder grade, which is like super neat. Like my fiance Danielle just had some clients fly in from Minnesota to buy a house, and they went and looked at like 2 Horton houses today, and then they're looking at something I have in Mullica Hill and another one I have in Franklinville, and the Horton ones are just done. It's automatically going to be one of mine because we give them a finished basement, we give them like all the extra bells and whistles, accent walls, soaking tubs, tile surround, everything that the basic builders aren't doing to make sure the house is what it's like, custom rounds. We make sure there's no soffits in the kitchen. We make sure it's an open floor layout, dual zone system. Everything's just done. And the big thing with new construction is people feel like warm and fuzzy about it. They get a 210 home warranty with it. Everything's brand new. I stand behind it. If there's something wrong with it, we come back to it, and everything's right for them. We're like flips, it's a little bit different because you don't know what you're getting into. It just wasn't worth it to us anymore.
Sure. I mean, you found something that you really like.
Yeah,
and you
it's
can
a
make
lot of
money
fun.
with it. Yeah. There is a little bit, wait time. So I think if someone's brand new, I think for new construction, I don't think it's the way to go.
Yeah, it's
really not.
You got to get someone that knows what they're doing. And like people aren't saying like the big thing. Like you have to have the right lawyer. If you don't have the right lawyer, like the perfect example is I had a lot in Clementon and we hired this lawyer. I'm not going to get into saying his name. And we went to get the variance and we didn't get approved. And at this point, I think I'm losing like 40 racks.
Ooh.
So then my other attorney, who I will say his name's Scott Goode, Cooper Levenstein, don't worry, you probably can't use him because I take all his time up. He goes back into the same town. I win the variance. I get the lot. And now I just built the house. It's done and it's selling. So it's a lot of importance, like what lawyer you use, what engineer you're using, how much they really know about land. And you have to have the right lawyer for the job, just like you have to have the right contractor for the lot. If the lawyer's not right, you're not going to win.
That's right.
Like I skinned Scott with me is like 14-0 right now. Every time we go in, we just won another one with you. We took that lot, subdivided it.
That's right.
And a lot of these guys that are flipping houses, they're not looking at like the true value. Like they, there was a house similar in Gloucester Township I had. A ton of flippers looked at it. No one bought it. I bought it, subdivided, got a free lot out of it. Didn't make any money on the first house, but then I got the free lot, and that house is going to be listed next week for $650. So I'll make my money on that one. And again, that's the right lawyer, knowing the code, knowing the variance, knowing what you could do, the frontage, the side yards, everything you can set back. And not everybody knows that. Land's a whole different animal. Like, really, realtors shouldn't even be able to sell land unless they really know what they're talking about. It should be like a whole separate test.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't know.
So a big thing, even having you on here, I want you to be able to get more land, right? I want you
I'll buy
more
more
lots, right? So I think I asked you the other day, if I was a realtor and I wanted to say, hey, Rich, I have land, what should I do first to make you think that I know what I'm talking about? Right?
That's the hardest part because a lot of them don't know what they're talking about. But like if you're a realtor, the first thing I would say would like go to township, check the zoning requirements, see what its zone is. Is it R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, all the way up to R10? What's the frontage on it? Did people have a survey with it? Does it have wetlands, flood hazard? I bought something, the one lot we have out in Swedesboro, we bought the lot. I thought I stole it. And there was a bald eagle on it. We had to do a test to have a bald eagle study to make sure it was 350 feet away from where we were building. It took 18 months.
Oh, my God.
And that would cripple somebody new. Now I own this lot, and I'm waiting for it to get done. 18 months. Then when that's done, they found a black-headed turtle, it's called. And we had to pay to have the myth turtle down the street. Like, you can't make that stuff up. And I didn't know. That was in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, you would call me, I'd buy that lot, and then try to figure it out. And I lost a bunch of money on some of them, but some of them became home runs.
Yeah.
But now we know a lot more where we can look at the lot, decide what if it's buildable, not buildable, if we know we could get it. I just picked up something in Gloucester Township, like, I don't know, probably a month ago that my buddy Eddie financed for me, that we bought it, and me and Drew are going to keep the house there. We're going to rent it to somebody. And we're going to get the house plus 4 lots.
Nice.
So then at the end, like, maybe I'll sell the rental off to somebody like you or somebody that still buys rental.
Sure.
But the value was in the land, and nobody else wanted it. Like,
That's right.
Because there's not a lot of people developing land around here. There's guys building on houses, and those lots may have to become, like, tell them, like, you know, not say anything about Tim. Tim buys it. They have to be approved. He has to get it, and that's fine because that's some of the ones I wish.
That's what he's comfortable with.
Yeah,
that's easy.
We'll buy them. We'll subdivide it. We'll get them ready. We'll get the variances. You know, Francesco got me something in Glendora last probably end of last summer.
Yep.
We just got all the approvals, and now we just started building, and the house is half up.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Francesco's definitely a hustler. He does a lot.
Yeah, him and Dave are probably the 2 biggest dudes around here.
Yeah,
guy's version, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chet puts the time in, wakes up every morning, goes to the gym. You know how it is. You get up, you go to the gym, your mind's right. Some of the best deals I've had have been at the gym. Some of my best friendships I have been through the gym.
That's right.
Whether it's the gym out back of my house that I work out at, the gym in my basement, or if I'm at your house, or if we go to the gym.
Yep.
Some of the best workouts I had and some of the most money I made has been through a gym, through a relationship.
Yeah, that's why, again, when people are like, hey, you want to go get dinner? You want to go get lunch? I'm like, no, let's just go to the gym and get it done.
It makes
you know
it
what I mean?
It makes it a lot
Let's get it done, and this way everything's positive.
Yeah, listen, when I was younger, my mom used to say nothing good comes after 10 o'clock, and I never understood that when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I'm like, man, nothing good comes after 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the sun goes down, I'm staying out back.
That's it.
It makes it a lot easier.
That's smart. That's smart. Now, Tim, I love Tim. Tim works really hard.
Yeah, I respect his hustle. Yeah. The social media thing was like a big, like, I used to like kind of make fun of it when he first did it, and I'm like, dude, he can't be getting anything off of it. And then Chess would be like, he got this, he got that.
I love that. Yeah, he stayed consistent with it. Now,
and I'm just like, all right, well, let me try it. And now we're way more into it. And I'm going to say, like, I probably wouldn't have did it if Tim wouldn't have started doing it. Like,
so Tim actually inspired you.
Yeah, he inspired
I like it.
He inspired me to get more into social media. Like, we started posting more.
Yeah.
And then the videos he did, now we have someone following us around. We're doing videos, not as many as him because I don't know how he does it. I give him a lot of credit, like, to be able to do that. So now we're starting to do more of the videos things. And like, I would see him put a video up, and now I want to put a video up. Not that it's competition, for the hopes that the way he's getting houses, I'm going to get more lots. And it works. Like, I put a video up the other day.
Yeah.
We got a lot. It's a big thing. And it's crazy because I'd be like, dude, this dude's old as fuck. He's running around posting videos. He's probably a year or two older than me.
Right.
And now I'm the same age, and my nephew's like, dude, you're all over social media. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. As long as I'm getting deals from him, I don't really care. Maybe I'll dress up and call myself like the super land guy, like a superhero or something next. Who the fuck knows?
I love it. Definitely. I would love to see you in the costume.
I would get a costume. I'm into like some certain things, you know, maybe some things we could talk about here and some things we can't, but I'm definitely willing to get a costume.
Oh, yeah.
It gives me good feels. If we're going to get deals, dress me up. Call me the landman, whatever you want to call me.
That's it.
You know,
we got to come up with something cool that way. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I could put on the back of my license plate on the back of my car, landman.
Oh, yeah. So, listen, you make all this money, you have all this fun. What do you like to do? Where do you like to go? What kind of things do you like to do? I mean, I already know, but let the viewers know, you know, what it's about. Not just making money, right?
It's not always about, like I said, like, it's real. I probably won't really make anything this year or like the last year because everything that we keep making goes into the company developed to regrow my company. Like I said, when I was having my kid, I liquidated everything. So I basically started over. So now I'm at the point where I'm growing over. Where like I'm not really make anything now, but everything I make goes into the company to rebuild the company to what it used to be. Right. So like in my spare time, really, it's just I like to spend time with my family. I got 2 daughters. You know, I got a fiance. I get married soon. I like to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love Danielle. Oh yeah. I like to hang out with you. I like to hang out with Drew. Like it's really just dinner. I love the summer down the shore. You know what I mean? Hanging out on the wave runners.
That turns you on there, and you're like, "Hey, man, I'm down."
It's actually funny because like even the house I'm keeping, that came from Tim. Tim put a post up. He got the house. They didn't want it. Called you about it. You called me about it. We bought it, and now Danielle.
I was to do it. I said, "Let me call Rich and see if he wants to do something with me."
But that's how small it is. And like I never really understood the whole social media thing because Santini would always just beat it into my head and beat it into my head. I'd be like, "Dude, it's not for me." And I'd be like, I don't want to run around like Tim or other dudes. And then I see you on it more now. And then I see Fran dressed up as like a priest and he's on it. Everybody's on it. And I did it for like 2 weeks, and now I'm getting deals. I got people emailing me every day because there's not a lot of people developing the land. So like, I can't thank him enough for doing it and like actually seeing it. And I never like understood. I'm like, where does he find the time? Because it's draining. Like I don't know how people do it. It's very draining. Like the fact that the dude does 100+ houses a year, and he has time for all that. Like that's crazy. He must not sleep, just like we don't. But
that's right.
I never seen the value in it. And now I'm actually starting to see it. Like I said, we got someone following us around. You know, she comes out twice a week. We do a couple of videos, going to explain to people. They got questions. I'm going to answer them. Because it's not all like, not everything's glitz and glam. Like everyone's like, oh, you make all this. They're not telling you the hardships. You're not telling you the stuff that happens. Like, you know, I spend $25,000, $30,000 a month every month on lawyer bills.
That's right.
For Livingston.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, every month, $100,000.
I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, engineering, like almost $1 million, and then you got to have machines, trucks, everything. So it's like it takes time to rebuild a company to what it used to be, which I'm excited. I know I'm going to get. And listen, if it doesn't work out, I'm very fortunate that like I said, my fiance comes from money. She has money, and I'm fortunate that I don't need to make a lot to get by. You know what I mean? But I know in the long run, you know, in a couple more years, I will be back to where I was, and it makes it exciting again to get into that.
Oh yeah,
because it's a big thing from going to do like 80 to 100 houses a year to now I'm not really doing any. And the first couple of years we're building houses, we're just developing. But now once we start, it's like a joke. You've seen, hey, the shovel went in. Hey, check this out on sheetrocking. It's only been 2 weeks, and people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're just fast now." Like,
like the 2 houses you did right around the block from my house. Every day I drive there, I'm like, how the hell is that foundation done? The day later, how the hell are you framed up?
Yeah, dude, it's true.
How the hell is there a roof on that thing already?
Dude, you never seen nothing like it. And like when people try to ask about it and you try to tell them, the key is to pay your subs. If I call any one of my subs right now, they'll all say the same thing. The job's done. They send me a bill. I pay the next day. We don't drag the subs in.
Don't play games with their money.
Right? That if they need something, they come running. Even you. We have a great friendship. I respect your guys. They told me like 2 weeks ago, I bought 6 kitchens from you. They said that Jen said I had to come in and pay for reorder. And I'm like, excuse me? What did they really say? And they're like, yeah, Jen said it. I'm like, dude, I'm picking my kid up. If Jen's really saying it, I'll come in and pay. I know Jen didn't say it. But you know what? I drove up here with Sage. We walked in. I wrote the check. I paid and we left. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not a big deal, but that's how it has to be. You can't drag people out from paying because they're not going to respect you. They're not going to want to do it. The reason, if I eat, my guys eat. And you got to give them just enough where like, they respect you, but they also fear you still at the same time. You know what I mean? Because they know, like, if they fuck up, they're gone.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
You don't want that with them. You got to be, like, literally on the same page. And, like, everything's a science. Like, I got Ryan that works for me, and he's great. We just hired another guy that used to work for Horton, and he's great. But the key is, like, you got to have all the lumber. Like, even the one that me and you have, the lumber's all sitting there. We didn't even start yet.
Yep.
But we're starting next week. The basement starts digging. Basement's in. You put that basement in 7 to 10 days. Boom. Then they're framed 3-4 days. By the time you're done framing, literally the next day, Paul Diuri is in there doing HVAC.
That's right.
Then fired up by Gem Electric, and then you get the plumbers in there, which we have a couple of different guys that we're using for plumbing right now.
Sure.
Trying to get the rest fit. You know, like I just gave Berger a job, and he did great. He jumped for me, but he's a little busy. You know, Tim's got him running around. Fran's got him running around. Santini uses them. And I got another guy we use all the time, but when you're doing the type of volume, you have to make sure that you have all the right subs in place because you can't have these houses take longer than 90 days.
No, because then it starts cost you money.
Yeah, especially with winter coming and the holidays coming, you need to have them up and listed, or you need to slow down so you can have them listed in January. And like, I'm not saying I build every house in 75 to 90 days, but I'm saying if it's one of the models that we normally build, like the Talia, which was named after my one daughter, or the Sage, which is named after my first daughter, or the Ryan, who works for me, he got his own house because he's a narcissist. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it.
The first house we designed that we completely did from Bishop and Smith, he's like, we're calling it the Ryan. And I'm like, dude, I got 2 daughters. You know what I mean? I got a group of family. I was like, listen, I'll compromise. We're going to call it the Rye, R-Y. Just like you, because you're a narcissist, you want it. Bang, we gave it to them. So that's the first house. Then the Sage came. Then the Talia. Then the Danielle. Now I got named after Drew's kid. We talked about doing a Vincenzo for V. You know? You got to line that all up.
Right.
But if you don't have everything set, you're not going to be able to do it. And even the stuff I have down the shore's taking a little bit longer. And it was a big learning curve. And again, like,
it's different, right?
Yeah, way different. Yeah. Way different. I got a house in Ventnor that we were getting, Danielle was buying it for herself. Then she didn't want it. So then I was telling Eddie K about it, and Eddie K has this guy that invests in us, and the dude funded it. And I'm like, I'll smoke that thing 4 or 5 months. Well, it's been 7 months now. You know what I mean? We're finally sheetrocking Monday. But it's a huge learning curve. And like, I'll never forget, like, we got so far up, the house was framed, and we were getting ready for sheet inspection. We called the inspector, And he goes, dude, you missed this, and this on the way. Like, you're supposed to get a rebar test and a sill plate inspection down the shore. I'm like, well, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? We don't do it anywhere else. He goes, oh, it ain't a big deal. You just got to tear it down if it don't line up. And, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, excuse me? And he's like, you just got to tear it down. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't do it right and it's off by an inch, you're going to tear the whole thing down. At this point, I'm $700,000 out with this other dude's money already behind schedule. They're up on the roof. They drop a tape measure down. I'm like, please, 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 dead on. Thank God everything was right, you know? And that's because we know how to build it all.
Yeah.
But we just didn't know you needed that inspection.
Sure.
But now you see the Wildwood thing we started.
Yep.
Well, that's only been 3 weeks now. The foundation's up, the framing, the sheathed already.
Absolutely.
Every inspection along the way. So the first one's like a learning curve. I call it almost going to like college. Like the second flip I ever did, I lost $70,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sucked.
You lost, but that was school. You learned how to do it.
Yep. And it's better than going to college. Like, you know, colleges for some people, it wasn't for me. School wasn't for me. So that's how I learned, and stuff that I tried, like I lost. Like I bought lots that weren't buildable, lost money, and that was a learning experience for me.
Sure.
And anyone that does what we do that says they don't lose money every now and then is a liar.
No. You got to be able to take that risk to lose that money to be able to learn from that mistake to make it more money.
Yeah, all day long, or like it doesn't happen. I know tons of guys, like, you know, Santini's lost money. I think Tim said he lost money a couple of days. I'm sure which he has. You lost money. Mm-hmm. I lost money. I seen guys that tried one and lost money, especially if you got hard money. If you have hard money on the property, now you're paying interest. I know you're an all cash guy. You know what I mean? And I used to be all cash, and we have some bank financing on some stuff soon. But then we got some private guys that we come in with a piece. But the majority of the land when we buy it, it's straight cash. You know what I mean? We buy it, we develop it, then we get the loan. But the problem is, like, if it goes a little bit longer, you have issues. Like, look at the one I have in Township on Sunset. The easement or something wasn't recorded right. The house is done. It's been sitting there 6 months. And I'm battling out with this lady in court. You saw she's crazy.
I know she's nuts.
You know, what are you supposed to do? That's all part of the game. And that's another learning experience. And that's why I'm privileged and grateful that I have the right attorney, because after this whole thing's done in December, Scott's going to go after her, and I'm going to sue her and probably walk with like $100,000, which will cover my holding cost for the last year of the house.
Sure.
And that goes back to, you have to have the right lawyer. You know, like Chestis had something happen with the Pinelands, hired the wrong lawyer, not going to get into his name, and he lost. It cost him like $100,000. You got to have the right lawyer. That's the most important thing when you're developing land or selling Pineland credits, or even like anything with real estate. You got the wrong lawyer. That lawyer versus like a lawyer that knows what he's doing. You get someone like from Cooper Livingston or Kevin Bland or a couple other good lawyers that we know, and they don't do the right job, they're done. They're gonna get the court. You're gonna smoke them. You're gonna laugh about it, but that also costs money too. So like sometimes you want to try to work it out with people, but the other problem is some of these people, like, there's no working out with it. Everyone thinks they're right. Everyone's gonna sue, and they think you're gonna pay them. I'll just laugh. It's like, dude, you're not getting paid. Like, I pay my lawyer this every month. I got 3 on retainer. I got a custody lawyer, criminal lawyer, land lawyer attorney. You know what I mean? Slip and fall attorney. Rico's got an OSHA attorney. We got them all. So, like, at the end of the day, whatever you want to challenge with it, as long as I have the right lawyer, we can go as far as you want until I win.
Absolutely.
You know, people just don't get that. Just like you. I'm sure you know. You wanted something. Here's Scott's number. Call him. Boom.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know, that's just how it is. People just don't get it. It's not as easy as everyone thinks it is, but once you figure out the formula, just like with anything that you do in life, it can become easy.
That's right. I mean, the more and more you do it, but again, you got to be able to take that risk out. You got to be able to have the right people around you.
Yep. And you got to be willing to try it. You know what I mean? Like, some people, like, just aren't into it. I moved back from Florida, and when I moved back from Florida, I knew I was going to start building houses. And like I said, the first year I bought all those lots, and we didn't build anything. And the second year I built one, and then it was 2, then 5, and this year to be close to 40 or over 40, depending on how the next month goes, is huge. And next year, hopefully, we build 80.
Oh, yeah.
And then with the subdivision. But, like, I really won't start seeing money for a couple of years, because as soon as you give me money, I go and buy more land. And now I'm getting that ready. Lawyer fees, engineering fees, everything like that. So you don't really see anything. It's like a big circle. It's kind of like I'm stuck in a hamster ball, just running around, hoping for the payday.
Right.
But that's how it was with the rentals. You remember Rockascata you were buying for how much back in the day?
$30,000.
And how much could you sell them for now?
Going 80, 200.
You remember at Rihanna's party?
I think 220.
Yeah, you remember at Rihanna's party? I told you they were selling for 100 and something. You told me no way I was alive.
Yeah, I thought it was out of your mind.
And I thought I was a genius for liquidating for 100 and something. Now they're worth 200.
I know.
So
I sold 220. I'm like,
kidding.
I bought that for 30, and I got 10 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing.
And it's time for the payday. But like, maybe they're going to be worth even more. And people, I remember buying back there, like, again, I was in Lehigh Manor. We had like 80 back there. And the one realtor I was friends with was like, dude, you're nuts. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm getting a whole court for $150,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, where are you getting a whole court unless you go to West Philly? And then, like, at the end, I sold them to some Hasidics, and the Hasidics sold them to Indians, and the Indians have sold them to someone else, and they're worth 200 and something thousand now. Like, you just got to be willing to roll the dice and take the chance with like everything. And the average person doesn't understand that.
Yeah, I had one in Lehigh. I bought it for 35 grand. Put about 15 into it. I sold it for 83,000. Yeah. At that time, it was the highest one in the area, right? Like 83. Yeah, it was something for like 55.
Dude, it's crazy. The first time we built houses, I built 4 in a row. The first time we got into it was 4 houses, and I built 5, 6, 7, 8 Lions Court in Lehigh Manor. They had the land. Winslow foreclosed on it. Barry Wright, the old mayor who like saw a lot of potential and loved me, he said, "Do you want to buy these lots from us?" I bought them from him. They sat for a year. So when I tell you I had no idea what I was doing, no idea what I was doing.
I love that you just do it, though.
Yeah. My buddy, we just ran. Aaron Miller, who owns a big kitchen company who I was boys with, who had a ton of rentals back there.
Yep.
He goes, "Rich, we should build them." So we get the plans. We get them all developed. And I'm like nervous. I'm like, dude, I don't really got 200 grand to blow. Like, I got it, but like it's a little bit different now.
Sure.
And we jumped in and we did it. And we're selling them for 200, 205, 210 at the end. Boom, boom, boom. They sold instantly. And I remember when we were sitting there and Aaron said, once you figure out the formula, you'll never do another flip again. And I think that the next year I did a couple flips where we were still getting the land developed. But when I tell you when I leave Chemung, I will never do another flip again unless it's something like the one on Central with you where we flip the house and get a lot.
That's right.
That'll be the only time it's ever done because it just doesn't make sense. It's just way easier with the land now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it down. I mean, you cracked the code.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It took a little bit. You know what I mean? I had a couple little kids tied up in the back working on it all the time like a sweatshop. But once we figured that out, it was off to the races.
That's awesome.
And that was the end of it. You know, and it's exciting to see what it's at. It's super exciting that I could drive through almost any town in Camden County or Gloucester County and point at the house that my daughter knows that that's her model.
That's great.
And my other daughter, like, Talia doesn't really understand it yet because there's only 1 up so far, but there's going to be 6 up at the end of the month. So once they're all done, hey, you see that house? See that little signature on it? That's your model. So anytime when you're older, when I'm gone, God forbid, you know, hopefully I live forever, but I haven't figured out that code yet to cheat that. But you'll know that the 50, 60 houses that look like that one, they were made each one because I love you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's probably like the best part.
That's badass.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it because it's just awesome. Like, even the development that we're building out in Winslow, it's called Sagemore Estates, like named after my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, then the one in Gloucester Township, Sage Hollow, named after my daughter, with Talia Drive as the main drive going in.
That's right.
It's exciting because they could be like, you know, it's a legacy left for them. Like,
Absolutely.
my daddy named this whole development after me. My daddy named this street after me. And even though Talia is not like mine, she's 100% mine. You know what I mean? There's no difference. I'm like, you can always leave kids something, and you can leave them money and memories and stuff like that. But that's like a legacy, knowing that anytime you drive by that was named after her.
That's right.
Just like when you're down the shore and you drive past the Showboat or the other ones that you've done.
Oh, yeah.
V will be like, my dad built all that.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
He did all that. And that's what makes it extremely different. It gives you like a different sense of not only pride, but it gives you like a feeling that like, it's almost like hard to describe, that knowing like, you know, there's two up on the corner with Hurtful Grandma. Like every time she drives by for the next 100 years, oh, daddy built them for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's
neat.
neat. You know, and I'd say I named one after Jet and Danielle, but you know how that goes. It just won't be enough. They'll have to be picked, and we'll run out of money building them.
Yeah, it's the wrong color.
Yeah, it's the wrong color. It's not big enough. It needs a Mercedes logo, blah, blah, blah. It just won't, it won't work that way. You know what I mean? It'll just change a lot.
That's funny as hell.
But it's cool. It's definitely, I don't know. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I'm grateful. God's been very good to me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. So what kind of trips do you have planned for us?
Wherever you want to go. What do you want to do? What do you want to?
I think January. So, you know, the Eagles thing going on, and it's really busy. I try and
we go wherever. Listen, last year we all went to Dominican, a bunch of us. It was awesome. That was got back from Puerto Rico, you know, Monday. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
We can go wherever. I got the wedding coming up in April, but either before or after.
Yeah.
You know you're not getting let out on the bachelor party. We could try to sneak you out and go somewhere else.
Had to throw me in your backpack.
Yeah. Be like, I haven't seen him. But I'm blessed enough, like I said, that Danielle makes money and we can go places. And it's cool enough when we get like 12 to 16 of us rammed in a room. And like, what we pay peanuts for that trip, you know? And it was a shithole, but it was fun. Remember, you were bathing in the pool.
Oh, yeah, everything broke down. The hot water broke down.
But we still had fun.
Hell yeah.
That's what it matters. You want to put stuff together and just try to have a good time. And that's what life's all about, spending time with family and friends and having a good time and, you know, hopefully making a couple dollars along the way.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So in closing, what would you say if for a person who wants to get into new construction, what would be a nice, not easy path, but what would be a good path for them to go?
Hire the best fucking lawyer they can in the area. And make sure that when you have that lawyer that they could look through everything and make sure that lot's 100% buildable to make sure you're not getting something back. And then after that, the most important thing would be to find a good architect. And for something like that, I would only go to the biggest around here, like Bishop and Smith.
Yep.
Get a model that they have that you're familiar with. Make sure you get all your pricing around. Get tons of quotes. And make sure, like, if you got a guy saying he could start tomorrow, chances are he's a junkie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, absolutely. You can start tomorrow. Really, dude. You're the best there is. And, like, it's the fairest price. But you're telling me you can start right now. It doesn't work like that.
No.
But check the subs, check the guys, see where they are, and really do it. And there's nothing wrong with, like, paying someone to hold your hand to get the land developed for you so you could start, because it does make it easier. Like, I wish more places were like that. I have something in the city that we're doing something like that right now, and the city's a lot different than, like, Jersey, and it has made it a little bit easier, and you do have to pay a premium for it, but maybe that's the route you want to go the first time. Yeah. But you just want to make sure that, like, the layout's open, and you want to have a good realtor to sell it. Don't get one of these guys that only sells 1 or 2 deals a year. You want to get the best. You want to reach out to somebody like Dave or Chess, Nancy, Gina Romano, any of those top agents in this area, to be like, listen, these are the best 4 in the area. Out of these best 4, someone bring me a lot. Chances are you probably aren't going to get it because I already own it.
Right.
Bring me a lot, put the time in, get it developed, and, just be ready.
Yeah.
And make sure you're in a cash position, because you don't want to get behind the ball with, like, hard money in case something happens along the way and you end up losing it.
And then as far as people trying to follow you on social media, what is your social media page?
ARCR Home Builders.
That's where you put your videos?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
That and on Facebook.
I'll put it in.
And we're almost on the website, so the website's almost getting finished now.
Love it.
Again, just something that, I seen Tim doing a lot of it, and it's working, and we want to do it, and people have been telling me to do it for a long time, so not that I'm, like, copying after him. I didn't think it really worked. I didn't think people really use it, but me and you grew up in the age, like, we didn't have none of that. No. You know what I mean? I had a rotatory phone. Now I got a phone that has all that on it. It's a whole another ball.
Absolutely.
It's different. It's definitely different. Then you get people being like, what are you doing on TV anyway? You fucking lose your mind. Everyone thinks you're going crazy. It's like, dude, I don't know. I'm getting deals. That's all that matters.
Putting shit together.
Yep.
Getting the word out there.
Just trying to make a living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Just
it.
trying to make a living.
That's it. So, bro, I love you.
Anytime.
Coming out.
No, thanks for having me.
You got it. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.